I already got a comment. Holy cow. I just started this and I already got a comment. Oh man. Jacob. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I should have had this set up before. I'm not like a professional YouTuber or anything. I just do this. I do this for the, well, actually, Jacob, 1824, is saying you're a good guy, good to be a part of the community. So, yeah, I mean, hold on. Is there any sound? How come I didn't hear any sound? Jacob, since you're here and you're commenting, do you hear me? Is there sound? Take my earbuds out and I put them back in. I'll hear like a ding, so I'll know that I'm connected. Holy cow, hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, sorry, I'm back. Did it look like I was making out with the screen? Tara, hey, what's up, Tara? Tara, I'm so sorry. I've been getting your messages and I've been meaning to contact Brent. It's just that, oh man, I've been really busy and I almost died. A couple seconds. I'll get to that. Hold on one second. Let me just find a comfortable space. This is comfortable way to. Is that too far? Does it look like I'm too far away? Holy cow. Tennessee Granny, what's up, Sue? Holy cow. See, this is why I felt that I have a moment because I fed my dogs breakfast. I got my coffee. My girls are still sleeping. Hopefully, I'll be loud enough during this loud stream, this live stream, to where my daughters will wake up. I'll just be talking so loud in the next room. So my daughters are with me. They're staying with me for a couple of weeks. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can. Okay, just that. Okay, cool. Right? No, no. I want you guys closer. I want you guys a little closer because I'm about to get deep. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to talk about some things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the setup. But you know me, man. It's just I'm a mess. My whole life is just thrown together. You know what I'm saying? In the moment. So I do want you a little closer though. Okay. All right. I'll stop messing with it. Let's just get into it. Okay. Sure, sure. I love the hat. Oh, thank you. All right. No, but Tara, seriously. I was even going to, when I replied to your message, because I felt so bad, I was even going to put my phone number in there and tell you, like, I'd rather talk, and just call me, But then I was like, that's weird, isn't it? I think that's weird, right? I don't know. I'm never sure. So I messaged this one friend of mine on Facebook. Um, and I just messaged her because, that song, say what you want to say, right? Let the words come out, right? So I was just trying to be brave, right? And so I messaged her and I told her, I think you're so fucking beautiful. That's what I wrote. And then I put, after you get over, um, no, what did I say? After you get past, oh yeah, after you get past how creepy this is, I hope you have a good day, right? And then I actually, instead of writing past, I wrote part. So it actually say once you get part with how creepy this is, that's I hope you have a nice day. And so then I sent another message right after that. After I saw, I was like, oh no. I was like, I was like, part pass, not part pass. I was like, with the fucking typo, with the shape, palm face. And yeah, no reply back. And I was just like, wow, that was weird. That was really creepy. Why did I do that? It's that damn song, man. Say what you wanna say. Don't do that. Don't say what you want to say. Okay, don't let the words come out. Right? Be brave, of course. live your life, live your life courageously, of course. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you don't want to be weird. So, anyways, Tara, that's a long way to say I overthought it way too much, and I was like, like call me, and then I deleted it. And I was like, no, don't be giving, especially females, your number because it's creepy and they don't like that. Anyways, so let's get into it. How is everybody? I've been let's see. Oh, nice. Jessica Anderson. What's up, Jessica? How are you? You should have, okay, awesome. You're getting my number, Tara. Okay, anyways. So let's see. Where should I start? I just wanted to make sure everybody's okay, and also Tara, thank you so much for checking on me because I have been kind of recluse. I just been doing my thing, working, just focusing on myself. And that sounds selfish, but I really just, working on myself, trying to improve my character, trying to figure out why I get frustrated so easily, why I lose my temper sometimes, like, and I have very little patience with people, I realize like I do. And I just been working on that, just trying to figure out um, where these things stem from. And also, I've been watching the news, and I got to stop that. It's almost like an addiction. I went for weeks without watching the news, but then the Afghanistan thing happened that came on my radar. I went into what was going on with Afghanistan. I just want to be, informed, right? So then, yeah, I started watching the news and everything. I think that's adding to my anxiety. Just kind of feeling this like, overwhelming sense of like doom and gloom and like, climate change. Siberia's on fire, Greece is on fire, California is on fire. Like, what in the world is going on? Florida, Louisiana, all these places getting hit by hurricanes, Connecticut, New Jersey. I'm just like, wow, like, wow. It was really difficult for me to want to post anything on social media. Even when I posted stuff, because I take my dogs on walks often. I'm always out in the woods and walking the trails with them, and I almost feel like I feel bad about posting anything even because of what's going on in the world. I just feel like, who am I to, like, it's like, oh, when I tell myself, oh, I just want to inspire people. Who am I to inspire anybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm a fucking failure. So it's like, dude, just just chill. That's what I tell myself, dude. Just chill. Nobody needs to hear from you. Nobody wants to hear from you. Nobody cares. And it's true. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, no one really cares, right? So why bother people? So that's what I did. I just been staying on, to myself. But here's what happened a couple of Sundays ago. Jessica Anderson said I had to stop watching the news. Way too much negative energy. Started taking over. Yeah, right. I mean, I just feel heavy. My chest feels heavy. I feel like it's hard to breathe. I feel sad. I feel like, And so here's what helps me though. And I was talking to my daughter about this. I told her what helps me sometimes is to realize that I'm we're not really that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? You, me, nobody. We're really not, if you think about it. You know who was great? Gandhi, right? Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr. These people were great. How many of us know Gandhi's birthday? You know what I'm saying? Do you know Nelson Mandela's birthday without Googling it? You know what I'm saying? Do we celebrate these people on a regular basis and honor them and remember them? No, nobody gives a fuck, do they? No, I don't. I have to admit, unless I'm actually bringing up this analogy, I don't talk about them or think about them in my daily life, right? So why do I convince myself that I could ever do something great enough where people will remember me, or like I'm gonna be better, like do something greater than these great men in history? And how often do we ever think about them, pay tribute to them, or anything, honor them, right? We don't give a fuck, right? And so I just tell myself I'm not that big of a deal. None of us are. And when I zoom out, right, into where we are in this galaxy, our place in this universe, right? I like to remind myself of how small I really am and how small our problems really are in the grand scheme of things. Yes, what's going on in the world is serious and people are dying. And I know I'm not trying to make light of it, but here's what helps me deal with the anxiety that it causes me. That's all I'm saying. I I like to, in my mind, zoom out, right? If I'm in traffic, zoom out of my car, almost like I'm floating over traffic, right? And I just keep zooming out in my imagination, right? And then I just imagine, this Earth in the solar system, right? This solar system in the Milky Way galaxy, and then there's this nice picture that they took, and it shows kind of where we are, or where Earth is, and it's like little, you can't even see it. It's just a little blue dot, little speck, you know. And I like that helps me. it just reminds me that, yeah, we really are tiny, and this universe is going to continue to go on without us. This earth, even if the human population got wiped out by this corona, or let's say the zombie apocalypse, and we all become zombies and eventually starve and die off, right? uh this earth, I believe, will continue on without us, right? Yes, things will change, but when I was out in Utah and Arizona, it was fascinating to see these canyons and these amazing rock structures, kind of, right? These rock pillars and mountains. And when you drive across it, there's signs, they call them reefs. It was like something reef. And I was like, why is it called a reef? Well, because millions of years ago, it used to be a coral reef. It used to be in the ocean, but now it's the desert of Utah and Arizona. So this earth has gone through these major changes before. It's not like it won't be able to handle it again. Humans may not be able to, but and I just remind myself, you know what? Yeah, nothing's really that big of a deal. But then I almost died. Okay, so I was thinking that I was driving down to the Panola Mountain archery range with my dogs in the back, and here I'm thinking about how small of a deal I am, how I really don't matter. Nothing I do matters. No matter how great of accomplishment I think I've achieved in my life, really no one cares. You know what I'm saying? I would be lucky if people remembered me 2 days after I died. You know, one day after I die, I mean, I'm hoping people will still talk about me, remember me, because it just happened, right? Yesterday, right? But I would be lucky if people still thought about me 2 days after I died. You know what I'm saying? Um, so really, I don't matter, right? I'm thinking this. And then all of a sudden, this semi truck, this FedEx semi truck is coming into my lane. I talked about this in my podcast, the Dow of June. Oh, you see how I plugged that? That was so awesome. Like, anyway, hold on. I just, my AirPod just fell out. But yeah, you see how I plugged my podcast right there? Anyways, um, I'm driving down 85. If you're not familiar with Atlanta, right? 85 South. It meets 285, where 285 goes east and west, right? So, oh shoot, hold on. I don't want to ignore people. Um, Jessica, no, Tara. I think it's pretty normal for a caring guy. Just go get your emo stuff out on a punching bag. You definitely inspire us. You have heart. Oh, thank you, Tara. Nina, wow, Nina's my client. Yeah. So, yeah, Nina, I groom dogs, her two dogs, right? I also groom her daughter's dog, and her daughter's dog got away, and it ran away, and I almost lost their dog, and she still tolerates me. Anyways, I'm not sure if she wants me to talk about that or not. Sorry, Nina. But it's just so amazing to me. I definitely thought I was fired. I definitely thought this is it. This is the blunder, and this just happened, guys. This just happened recently. But yeah, yeah, I was thinking, if this is what causes, oh, you know what? I'm gonna pull this up a little closer, and I'm gonna prop it up with this here, so you can get a better. Oh no, no, that's not gonna work. Sorry, guys. I want you a little closer. I feel like it's so far away. Okay, there we go. So, anyways, I was thinking, oh no, this is the final straw. I'm fired after this. I'm not. She's never gonna call me back. But yeah, not only are they, not only did they let me off the hook, they're like so understanding and like so kind and like, wow, I'm really so lucky that I can literally just keep fucking up, right? Right? One failure after another, one mistake after another. And there are a few people that just still understand that, like, in my heart, I didn't mean to. Like, I really wanted to do the opposite. I wanted to please. But in my eagerness to please, sometimes, I drop things and things break, and I'm sorry, but some people are like just so kind, and Nina is one of them. Anyways, let's see here. Nina Shield says, love where Bible states this life is merely a blink of an eye. Yeah, puts everything in perspective. We're not home yet. I love that, Nina. It truly does, Jessica Anderson says. Tara says, yes, Nina. Yeah, I mean, so it's a blink of an eye. And here's, yeah. So I was talking to a 73-year-old man yesterday. His name's Big Jake. He said he used to be over 300 pounds. He was a linebacker, but now he's just really skinny. I was like, you look like you're maybe 170 pounds. He was like, he was saying that, like when he was going through his, illness, he was injured. He's still nursing this injury. He said he just didn't eat, and he would go days without eating sometimes because he was in so much pain. And he now he's just, you know, 170 pounds, dripping wet, and he used to be over 300 pounds. But this 73-year-old man, I was putting gas in and I was going in to pay, and I opened the door for him, and he was like, obviously struggling, and he was like giving me the hand, like, go ahead, it's okay, and I held the door open for him. I was like, no, take your time. I was like, I know how that feels. I have two herniated discs. I was like, I was in crippling pain. I couldn't even get up. I couldn't walk because I felt like I was about to snap in half. The pain was so excruciating. And also my pinky toe just got better. My pinky toe, the skin in between my pinky toe and my ring finger toe. What do you call that? That weird toe that curls a little bit next to your pinky toe. Is that the ring finger toe? Anyways, the webbing, the skin between my pinky toe and that ring finger toe ripped, right there, and then it really got bruised, and then I thought it got infected because it swelled up and it hurt to the touch. It wasn't infected. It was just a big blister, and it was like Dr. Pimple Popper. And I'm not gonna get into it especially if people are like about to eat breakfast or some brunch or something. You're gonna ruin your appetite. But anyways, my pinky toe issue just got resolved, right? So I was kind of limping. Nina, you probably noticed it when I was grooming your dogs this past Saturday. Yeah, I was limping because my pinky toe was hurting so bad. It wasn't because I was like, injured or anything. It was just my pinky toe. That's what made me realize, wow, it's just the pinky toe. And I never even think about my pinky toe ever. I never really give it a thought. I'm never grateful for it or anything. I never appreciated my pinky toe. When it was injured, that's when I realized how much I needed it. Everything I did, standing, walking, everything, I'm putting pressure, constant pressure on that pinky toe. And I never realized how much it does for me until it was injured and hurt and I needed it. And that's when I started to think I need to appreciate a lot more of these little things in my life. That's what this pain is teaching me. And so I was grateful for the pain. I accepted it and I thanked it, and the pain went away with a little effort, a little blister popping and stuff, but it's all good. Anyways, oh yeah, that's right. Big Jake, back to Big Jake. So I told him, I was like, take your time. I was like, don't feel rushed at all. I was like, take your time. I'm not in a hurry. And so he comes in and he said, man, he was like, I'm trying, I think he said he left his cane or he doesn't want to have a cane or something. He was saying, walking without a cane and he just twisted his ankle again and he's injured on top of that because he said he slipped out. And so anyways, I was like, man, I know how that feels. I was like, pain is such a lonely place because I was like, even if you can explain exactly how you're feeling, even if you described it perfectly to someone and they understand what you're going through, you still got to go through it alone. They can't go through the pain with you. You wouldn't even want them to. It's such a lonely place to be. And I told him, I understand. I've been there. And he just he almost teared up. It was crazy. Like he almost teared up. Like I saw like his eyes watering. And that's when I realized that quote, it really is true. Like to feel understood by someone else, it really is such a huge, like, I don't know, it really does. It touches you. Like it really feels, and I've had those moments too where somebody really, I felt like they understood me. They really get me. And then, like it just makes you feel so all warm inside. And I bet that's what how he was feeling. And we were talking, and he told me, he was like, there's some people you can just tell. He was like, that they're just being kind because they're a kind person and they're not trying to get anything from you. He was like, I got that feeling from you. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's wonderful because that's my trick. I'm about to ask you for some money. And he started laughing. He was like, and I was like, and he said that, he was born here in that, kind of in that a little bit rougher area of Atlanta. And he was like, he was born there, and he's 73 years old. You know, he said, I've seen it all. And there is a lot of hustles going on down there. People doing things to try to manipulate you and get money from you. But I wasn't doing that. I was just holding the door open for him because I understood that pain. And he's 73 years old. I mean, like, of course I could hold the door open for you. You're already struggling. And yeah, so we kept talking, and I was like, 73 years old, and you were born here. I was like, so you were a kid when Martin Luther King Jr. was doing his thing here in the city. And well, I was like, and he said he saw him in person. He got to see him in real life while he was alive, while Martin Luther King Jr. was alive. And yeah, he's lived through some tough times, man, where black people, I mean, let's just talk openly. Black people were treated like inferior human beings because of the color of their skin. And he lived through that. Even though the laws changed, and even though slavery was no longer legal, and black people now had rights on paper, and in the Constitution it says all men are created equal, and all of these ideals are nicely written, right? But even though the laws have changed, people's hearts don't change that easily. And so he's lived through, he's experienced, some of the really, um, the dark side of humanity. Let's just call it that. Like Theo Von says, the dark arts. You know what I'm saying? He's witnessed the dark arts. So he but he said there was something about me where he knew. He said you could just look at someone and you realize that this person is just a kind person. And I was like, wow, that's really kind of you to say that. Even I was like, because you're kind too. You've recognized it. You wouldn't have recognized it in me if you didn't have it in yourself. I was like, you're a kind person too. And he told me about some things where he struggles, and I'm not going to get into it, because it is a little bit, but I told him, you have no reason to feel guilty. I was like, even in the Bible. And I told him, I don't know if you believe in the Bible or not. And he was like, oh, yeah, I believe in the Bible. So I was like, in the Bible, God says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. It's not for you to try to seek out justice or make sure these people get what they're, especially when he's so closely connected to them. Like he's grown up there 73 years. He was born there. So he's close, and he's in that community. So even though he wants to do something, he feels like he can't because it might jeopardize his relationships with their grandparents and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too much into detail, but I told him, you have no reason to feel guilty. You're a good man. You're trying to do the right thing. And I was like, leave it up to God, because God promised that vengeance is his. And I was like, I believe in karma. I believe that when we harm others, we're really harming ourselves. And when we help another, we're helping ourselves. I was like, and maybe that's why these people do the things that they do, because they lack understanding. They don't understand that we're all actually connected, you and I. So if I understand that I'm actually connected to this convenience store owner, and somehow he and I are one, then why would I harm him? Why would I go and rob his store? And I was like, when we do something to harm another, we're actually harming ourselves. If we realize that, if we really understood that, then we wouldn't do it. Even if we were completely, truly selfish in the bad way, we wouldn't harm others, because selfishly we know that it would harm us back. You know. But anyways, getting back to it, life is a blink. He was saying that like, yeah, he like, all these doctors and everything are telling him that they want him to go get surgery. They want him to go under the knife, to try to get his leg so he doesn't, he's not always in so much pain, and he doesn't have to, limp so much, and also, and other things. And he said, man, I don't want to do all that. He was like, I know I'm gonna die soon. I'm 73 years old, and he was like, if I go under the knife, I could possibly, there's a possibility that it might make it worse, or I might not come back from that surgery, And he was like saying that he's not trying to live longer. He's just trying to live better, you know? I was like, that's amazing. That is such an incredible way to think, I was like, you're enlightened. Because he was saying, yeah, what if they do put the metal rod and all this stuff in his leg, and he can walk a little bit better for a few more years? What? He's 73 years old, you know? He was saying, why go through all that trouble and then go through all that debt because those hospital bills aren't cheap, you know? And I'm sure he has insurance, but you know what I'm saying. He was saying that, he has two sets of girls, two sets of boys, and then another two sets of girls. I was like, wow, you've been busy in your 73 years. And um, wow, we talked for like a long time there at the gas station. It was amazing. It was incredible. And he was saying that like God puts certain people in your life, in your path, and you cross paths in your journey. And he was saying that this is one of those meetings where he really feels like this was meaningful. And I was like, me too, like Big Jake. Shout out to Big Jake. But yeah, it just really helped me put things in perspective. That just happened yesterday, last night, on my way home. I had to call my daughter and explain why I'm running late. I was like, but yeah, I mean, if it was my ex, I would probably be in real deep trouble. I promise it's Big Jake. It wasn't Big Jackie, I promise. It was Big Jake. Anyways, but yeah, it just really helped me realize like, wow, life is really short. Even as long as it's short, like he's saying 73 years went by like that, and I'm 40 years old. Let's say I live to 80. Let's say I got 40 more years. If the next 40 years goes by as quick as the first 40 did, and I'm a father of a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, how did this happen? I'm still like that little 16-year-old in my heart that got expelled from high school for sending a pornographic photo to to a girl's dorm with my name on it, signed with a little poem. Nice. Anyways, because I thought it was funny. I'm still that dumb kid, as a 40-year-old adult with two children. And I'm just like, and I think this is why my daughter and I get along so well. My 13-year-old, I said, hey, let's just get this out of the way. I know you're smarter than me. All right. So now we can talk. Anyways, let's see here. Tara says, thank you for being so compassionate to him. I remember when you understood some of my pain a long time ago. It was so helpful. Not many folks are that way. Wow, Tara. Wow. Um, Tara says, it sounds like you were in the right place at the right time and gave him a word from God he needed to hear. Maybe. I mean, and me too. He gave me so much like wisdom that I needed to hear. Like we really helped each other, I think. But yeah, like yeah, it was really interesting. Yeah, and I shared a quote. I was like, I told him about my toe pain recently, and I was like, I read this quote recently that really helped me. I was like, I forget who said it, Jacob something, but he said, "Make friends with pain, and you'll never be lonely again." And he said, "I know that's right." But yeah, because life, it just seems like that's how life is set up, right? It just seems like that's how this life is designed. It, Pain is just a part of this life. I don't know anybody that's going to get out of this life unscathed. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't experience some form of heartache and pain, suffering, that you're going to go through it. And if you don't, I actually kind of feel bad for you. I'm sorry because you're never going to be able to connect with anyone. You really, truly connect with people. You'll never be able to really empathize with someone or feel that compassion for another because you never experienced that pain. So I almost feel like, yeah, bad for you. Like you missed that part of the movie. I don't know if you stepped out to go to the restroom or something, but you missed a really key part of the movie. If life is a movie or, life is an experience, kind of like a good book or a good movie, this is your story. Each one of us, our lives are our unique own personal story. And just like the directors of Marvel Endgame said in their commentary, the DVD commentary part, at the end, when they were showing Tony Stark's funeral and everything, the director said that they needed to include this part. They had to have this happen because they wanted the audience, the movie goer, they wanted us to experience the full range of human emotions. They wanted us to be excited and laugh, but also cry and feel that heartache and pain because that's part of the human experience. And they wanted us to experience the full range of human emotions. And I was like, wow. Like, and I thought about it, I was like, that's why life is so painful sometimes, and life is so difficult and scary sometimes. Because the director of this movie, God, if you want to call it, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, but the director of this movie wants us to experience the full range, all of it. When you go to a symphony, I say this often, if you go to a symphony and they were missing the bass and the percussion because they don't want to scare anybody or alarm anyone, and it's the low notes. We're just gonna play the flutes and the violins and the high notes. You're gonna be like, why did I pay for this? You know what I'm saying? Why am I here? If half the freaking, maybe not half, but anyways, you know what I'm saying. It just seems like life is painful. Life is difficult because it's meant to be rewarding, and easy is never rewarding. It's going through something difficult and knowing that I'm capable of going through something like that and coming out of the other side. It makes us feel good, actually, right? That's what makes you feel proud of yourself. And then you can feel happy by going through that, right? Anyways, let's see here. Tara, so true, but we definitely learn from it. Exactly. We learn from our pain. Actually, it was going through the pain of losing my business that actually turned me on to Brian Tracy and Jim Rohn. And I remember that morning where I was just struggling so much, just trying to handle all of the debt and the pressure of being this business owner when I'm not a business person at heart. I'm an artist, like I groom for the love of the dogs, and because it's a labor of love for me, which is why for me, like even if I have a day off, like an empty day on my schedule or something, I don't want to just groom anyone's dog because it's just like cooking for me. I cook because for me, cooking is a labor of love. It's something as simple as fried chicken, which is one of my favorite dishes to make because it takes time. You have to prep it the day before. That's the secret to good fried chicken. It's not the seasoning on the outside or anything like that. It's the brine, it's the time that you put in getting that flavor into the meat. So I use like salt water, sea salt, garlic, ginger, black pepper, cayenne, what else? Chili powder, white vinegar, what else? Anyways, I put a bunch of stuff in there, right? And I let it sit overnight in that water, in that brine. It's brining the meat. And then the next day, get a pan, just fill it up like halfway full of oil, and you fry it half and half. Like, how many minutes was it? I got to Google it again. But I think it's like 12 minutes on one side, 12 minutes on the other side. And you're good. You know what I'm saying? And you take the temperature inside, of course. But, anyways, and when you bite into it, I just coat it lightly with some flour. That's it. Just coat it lightly with some flour because you've done the work all like 6, 8 hours. And then you fry it, and then within minutes you have this such oh my when you bite into my fried chicken, you got to take your socks off and your toes will curl, man. Oh my goodness, my fried chicken is so good. But anyways, yeah, but I won't do it for anyone I don't care about. If I won't just make it for someone I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter how much they offer me. It doesn't matter how much money they like promise to pay me or anything. Like it's not about that. For me, cooking, I cook because for me it's like I want to cook for the people I love and show them, like, and that's why I think it was so hard for me to start cooking for myself. But then during the pandemic a year ago, as I started staying in a lot more. I started cooking for myself, and it really helped me, yeah, to like learn to love myself, learn to treat myself like someone I actually care about. You know what I'm saying? Treat everybody else like that. And then when it comes time to treat myself kindly, I'm like, oh no, it's okay. I feel bad about it. It's like, why? Anyways, I feel like cooking for me and grooming, these are things that I do because it's a labor of love. And I do get paid for my grooming because it's how I make a living. But I'm not just out there trying to groom anyone's dog. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't advertise. I don't put out any. I'm not looking for clients. I'm I'm good. I have 24 clients. No, I just got another client, so 25 clients now, and I have 37 dogs to groom. So I'm good. Anyways, yeah, what do I want to? Oh yeah, that's right. So what would happen? Back to this. Oh yeah, back to the story when I almost died. So I'm driving. I'm driving down 85, and we're going to Pinole Mountain, the archery range. My dogs are in the back, and this truck starts driving into me. Now I can't go to my right because there's a big semi truck on my right, and there's a Ford pickup truck, one of those bigger ones, Ford pickup truck in front of me. So I'm trying to move forward, so because this truck obviously can't hear me. I'm laying on my horn, can't hear me, can't see me. Obviously, keeps coming into my lane. So trying to pull up as far as I can, but I can't pull up any further because there's a truck in front of me. I can't go to my right. I'm going to my right as far as I can because this truck coming into my lane, but I can't because there's another semi truck on my right. So I'm trapped, and I thought to myself, "This is how I die." Like I literally thought that, and then boom, his front tire, the front wheels of the pickup trucks, they have those big bolts, those big round bolts that stick out of the wheel. Like Ben-Hur. Has anybody seen Ben-Hur? Like those Greek chariots, like those weapons sticking out of the spokes of those wheels. It's like that. Some of these pickup trucks, the front wheel looks pretty dangerous if you get close to it. Sure enough, it hit my car, and now there's like a big gash in my car, right behind my rear door. So it hits my car. My car goes like this into the truck now, into the front of the truck. And luckily, the front of the truck pushed my car forward and didn't run me over. And then I was back going in, straight into my lane, and I'm shook. I'm shook. And he finally realized that after hitting my car, he realizes there's a car there in his blind spot. He hits the brakes, and I see him, just boom, like in my rearview mirror. I open my windows. I'm like, what in the world? Like, come on, pull over. And so he goes like, this happened in that exit lane where we're all trying to get onto 285, right? Obviously, well, apparently he needed to get on the 285 west side, which is on the right side to me. I'm going 285 east to Augusta. So here we are going separate. I see him going further and further away on this side. I'm over here, and he's like, because he braked. And so he's like that. We're going on opposite sides of the highway now. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, but I just thought to myself, I was about to get angry. I was about to, like Chris D'Elia, so pissed, right? Oh my God. I was like, I was about to get really upset. But then I just told myself, uh, weren't you afraid just a second ago that you were going to die? You know, weren't you just a moment ago terrified that it was all just going to be over? Yes, I was. Well, why not just be grateful that you're alive, that didn't happen? And I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, that is another option, isn't it? Because a lot of times we can't change the situation or the circumstances, but we can change the way we look at it. And Dr. Wayne Dyer says when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right? It's not just a clever play on words, it's true. So I changed the way I was looking at the situation. I was like, wow, I could have just died just then. And my dogs too. That's what upset me more. If I die, no big deal, right? 2 days after I die, nobody will even care. Life will move on, you know? But my dogs, man, like they didn't have to go through that. Like I would feel like, oh, I put them through that. Why did I bring them with me? But yeah, it didn't happen. My dogs are safe. They probably didn't even, they're like, probably like, what's going on? Why are you freaking out? Why is this car shaking more than usual? Um, so yeah, I was like, okay, I could just be thankful. I could just use that as an opportunity to remind myself that at any moment, my life can change, drastically for the worse, you know? And I can just be grateful that nothing happened really. I just got to gash my car and my door won't. I pried it open and I kind of, hammered down the dent, But still, when I open it and close it, you can hear the metal scraping on each other. Well, but I'm grateful that it didn't damage my car anymore. My car is still drivable, it drives just fine. Um, it reminded me that I needed to change my one tire, my rear tire, so I got that changed, you know? So it's a good thing, you know, and it reminded me that life really is short. And at any moment, when you're least expecting it, when you're just driving to the archery range with your dogs, it could be over, you know? And that just reminded me, like, yeah, rather than trying to, what was it? I think it was Marcus Aurelius, or the Stoics. They were saying instead of ruminating, instead of debating over how to be a good man, just be one. You know what I'm saying? Instead of spending all this time contemplating what should a good man be like, and telling others this is what you should do, this is what a good man should do. Just be one. Just live your life as a good man, as best you can, and that's what I've been doing. I just been, thinking like, yeah, I just took that opportunity to realize like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm still, because it just happened. All of this is recent, but yeah, just lots of stuff has been going on in my mind, but I'm okay. But I just been busy. I've been working. Here's the cool thing. I've been doing this for some of my clients. I live streaming on my YouTube channel, but I do it with the unlisted link, and I send that link. I text it to my client, and they can watch it. Well, if they text the link, so only the people with that link can see the live stream. And so it's been really fun because I don't actually have to talk or anything. It's just kind of like, just so they can kind of see ASMR style. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, I'll say something will happen, I'll make a joke, but it's just for them, and I like it because it's like, I don't know, it's like an added service in my opinion. It's like yeah, it's an added value service or whatever. What do they call that in business terms? I don't know, but it basically it enhances the value of my service. I think it adds a little another element, another level where I'm grooming and I'm live streaming it on my YouTube channel, but no one's watching except them or someone they give their one of my clients. She's my new client. I offered that to her. I was like, I can live stream the whole time, so you don't actually have to come and check in if you don't want, like, but you can see what's going on. She was like, I would love that. So I texted her the link, and next thing I see, like 11 people watching. I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Is this somehow gone public? Like, are people watching this? Like, because I promise I only sent this link to you." And they're all family members and friends. They're like, "No, she sent it to us." I was like, "Oh shoot!" But anyways, it was pretty funny. So yeah, I've been doing my thing. I'm doing well. I mean, of course, I'm dealing with lots of issues, lots of personal struggles and things like that. But who isn't? We all are, aren't we? You know, and that's the thing. It's like Maxwell Maltz, who wrote Psycho-Cybernetics. He was right. We are neither superior nor inferior to anyone. You're just you. You're simply you, and I'm simply me. And it really isn't a competition, and it's really not no use in comparing because it's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes there is that temptation to feel a little pang of jealousy or envy when you see people doing things or getting things and, getting recognized and getting all these likes and subscribers or whatever your way of measuring success is. If somebody is higher on that measuring stick than you, then sometimes it is easy to feel that, a little pain of jealousy or envy. But that's useless. It really is because, the thing is, you probably wouldn't even be happy living their life, and everybody's journey is different. And we're not, here's the thing. I met this other guy. He was an act, he is an actor. But it's a movie, it's one of those movies that, I mean, like, I'm happy for him though, but it's called if you want to look it up, it's called the Underwoods of Napa Valley. You know what? I'm gonna look it up just so I can give you his name, give him a little shout out. But I met this actor, and we were talking, and I told him the Underwoods of Napa Valley. And I told him that a lot of times, the people that you, especially the people that you care about the most, the people that you grew up with and everything, you would think that they would be happy for you when you get some sort of success, and but they're a lot of times they're not, and sometimes they'll be critical, and sometimes they'll put you down even for kind of make fun of you for feeling excited about something good that happened to you, and you're just trying to celebrate with them. And I told them that a lot of times it's because they haven't given much thought about what they want in life. Because if they had clear goals and they were making steady progress towards achieving them, they would be happy for you because they know that that's your path and they're on their own path and they have their own clear set goal in front of them. But it's because a lot of times it's because we haven't really sat down and thought very clearly and critically about what we actually want, not what we think will make us our mom proud of us, because she'll never be proud of you. She either is or isn't, but it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with what you do or don't. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with them. They're either going to be proud of you or not. It's not up to you. You know, you're not going to change people. And they say that if you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you. Anyways, um, but it's not like you can get rid of your mom. You know what I'm saying? Just, just understand that that's just who she is. She means the best. She means well. She cares about you. But and here's the example I gave him. What's his name? Kenton. Kenton is his name. Hold on one second. IMDb. No, is his name Kenton? No, I really Karif. That's his name. Karif. Um, but yeah, here's the analogy I gave Karif. I was like, have you heard of Tony Robbins? And incredibly enough, he said no. And I was like, who the fuck hasn't heard of Tony Robbins? So I was like, okay, Tony Robbins gave this example, right, to help us cope with the hate that we get sometimes, especially from the people we care about the most, the closest to us, our family members, our friends, and that's why it hurts so much. If a stranger said it, whatever, fuck them, right? But when it's someone that we really care about that says something critical about something that we're doing that we're happy about or something, it makes us feel ashamed or foolish or bad, it hurts a lot because they're so close to us. And here's how to get over that pain so we can look at it a different way, so we can change the way we look at it, so we can change the way we experience it, right? They did an experiment where they had these chimpanzees or gorillas or, they had these primates. Um, so they put the first chimp in this glass room, this glass cage, right? This glass enclosure. And in the middle, they had a ladder that goes up to, a bundle of fruit, let's say, right? It was a high value prize for them. So the chimp, first he explores the room, he looks up, and he's like, "Wow, there's fruit up there." So he goes to climb up the ladder, but it was electrocuted. It was a electrified, so it shocked him, right? They electrified it so that it would give him a nice, good shock when he tried to touch it or go up the ladder. So he shrieks, he's in pain. He's obviously shook. They send in another chimp, and that chimp, obviously same thing, looks around the room, looks up, he's like, "Wow, there's fruit up there." He tries, and the first chimp stops him, and tells him, "Don't do it." He's like, "Get away from me. What are you talking about? There's fruit up there." And he beats him up. And he won't let, every time he tries to touch the ladder, he beats him up. He's, "Don't do that." So then they send in another one, another chimp. So a third chimp has now entered this enclosure. And he looks up, there's fruit up there. Boom. Both of them beat him up, right? So now they've learned, don't go up this ladder because if you do, you're going to get beat up. So then the first chimp is now removed, right? So the only chimp that actually got electrocuted, that actually knows why you shouldn't go up the ladder, is now removed, right? The second chimp and the third chimp are now introduced to a fourth chimp, right? A new chimp. That one looks up and tries to go up the ladder. These two beat him up. They don't even know why. They just know that this is what you do, right? Same thing with our family members and the people that we care about, our grandparents, even like, why are they so critical sometimes? Why do they put us down when we tell them about our dreams that we want to go after? Because when they went after, when they tried to go after their dreams, they got hurt. And so now, anytime they see anyone else trying to go up for their dreams, they're going to hurt them because they want to keep them safe. They hurt you, they hate because they care deep down. They don't even know why they're doing it sometimes. They just know that this is what you do because it's been done to them by their grandparents and their parents before them. It's been passed down. And so now, and sorry, before there was legitimate reasons to as to why your parents would say, "Hey, don't be so loud. Keep quiet," because it was time of depression, all this stuff. They grew up during really tough times where, yeah, it wasn't even possible. Don't even think like that. You're wasting resources, like there wasn't a lot to go around back then when they grew up. So there were legitimate reasons. But now, just like the first chimp was removed, and here's the part I left out, I forgot. After the initial shock, they turned it off to see if they would try again. So after the first chimp was removed, and there was no electricity going through that ladder, it was safe to go up now. None of the chimps, every new chimp that came in that tried to go up the ladder, they got beat up. And no one even knew why. And if they even tried, they would realize it's safe to touch, it's safe to go up. And they never even got electrocuted, so they don't even know why. And that's the crazy thing. Is like, so our parents were probably treated like that by their parents when they told them that they wanted to be a musician or an artist or a painter. It's like, hey, get it together. This family needs, resources. We need food. Get to work. Bring in some income. And that was real back then. But now the times are different. And we're not. It's not like that anymore. And so the electricity has been removed. And the first person, our great grandparents, they're not even alive anymore. The ones who really experienced the pain, they're not even alive anymore. There's no reason to knock each other down anymore, but we still do it. Why? Because it's been passed down to us. So as long as we realize that, you can't change the people around you. So just then change the people around you, right? Um, when we're at a family gathering or something, some of these people that hurt us, we can't avoid them. They're our family members. When they do it, we can understand, aha, this person has been hurt when they went up their ladder to get their fruit. So when they see me going up my ladder to get my fruit, they're trying to hurt me because they care. I understand that, and I'm not going to change them, and I'm not going to change the way they believe, their belief system, their thought patterns. I'm not going to change that, especially overnight, especially not this instant. So then I can just understand where this behavior is coming from, and I can care about them, and I can say with compassion, say, "Hey, man, I appreciate your concern for me." Give them a hug. Instead of taking offense to it and feeling hurt, we can feel love for them, and understand where they're coming from. But yeah, that's what I told Karif. And yeah, he was like, "Dude, you should be like a motivational speaker or something." And I was like, I want all that attention. I was like, I thought I did. I told him about how I wrote in my journal that I wanted to be like, rich and famous, and I wanted to speak in front of like thousands of people and everything. I realized because when I was hanging out with him, there was two other females who are just, I mean, oh my God, on the right, I gave him a ride home, right? In the car, I was telling him, like, dude, they were so beautiful, like, holy cow, they're so beautiful, both of them. And he was like, yeah, right. And the thing is, um, I couldn't say a word. I'm not myself around attractive women. Like women that I find attractive, I'm not myself around them. I just clam up. I'm just like, right? And so, but with Karif and I'm talking, I'm asking him, I'm engaged in the conversation. If I was just like that with either one of them, I'm sure we would be friends. But I just, oh, like they were even trying to ask me questions. They were trying to get me to talk. And I'm just like, yeah. I did that. That's exactly what I did. I just said, "Yeah," and I cleansed up my sweaty palms, and I just went like this, and I laughed like that, "Ha, ha, ha," like that. And that's why it probably didn't work out. But I was just like, telling him like, "Dude, I realized myself, I'm an introvert." I was like, "One-on-one and with small crowds, I do fantastic, and I don't dominate the conversation or anything like I do here on my YouTube channel. It's only because it's not like a Zoom call. I can't see you guys, I have to do all the talking, otherwise it'll just be blank, blank dead air. But I don't talk this much when I'm actually with someone having a conversation. Big Jake and I, why would I do all the talking? He has all the wisdom. I was asking him questions. I'm, I do well, but like with Big Jake and I, like last night, I do very well with one-on-one and in, small groups, but when it becomes, and especially when there's females around, I'm not myself. I am very shy. But Karif is different. I was telling Karif, I was like, this is why I know you're meant to be famous and not me. I was like, you, when those two beautiful females were around us, I was like, dude, you were talking with them, you're engaged, they're all over you. I was like, and he was like, yeah, right. And I was like, dude, you were meant for this. I was like, you're meant for this, and I told him like, I realize now with a lot of just introspection, I guess, just a lot of like work and just looking inside of who I really am and what do I really enjoy. I enjoy being out in nature. I enjoy being out there with my dogs, like I enjoy being lost in the woods now, just trying to find my way back out. It's fun for me. It's challenging now. It's scary and very difficult, but that's what makes it so rewarding, that feeling when you get out. Anyways, I realized I want to live a life of more a solitary life, a life of solitude more. Of course I want to, but here's the thing. I told my daughter this too. I was like, okay, I would be lucky if people still remember me 2 days after I die, right? And that's if I make a big splash on social media, YouTube, whatever. And let's say I get like millions of subscribers and all this stuff, and people love me and everything. After I die, about 2 days, I'd be like, maybe if I'm fortunate enough, I'll die on a Friday, and that way people have Saturday and Sunday. We're not working and everything. They'll have those 2 days off, the weekend off, to think about me. If I die on a Friday, if I'm lucky, people will think about me 2 days after I die. But if I die on a Monday, there's not a chance, man. People are at work. They gotta cook dinner. They got chores. They got errands to run. By Tuesday and Wednesday, I would have been forgotten. You know, that's even with a million subscribers or two. So I told my daughters, but if I focus all of my energy and my time, not all, but most, on you girls, on having these kind of conversations, and really trying to make an impact on you girls, just two, my two daughters, not 2 million subscribers, my two daughters, right? Then Seth Godin was right. Instead of making a mediocre impact on the masses, it's much better to make the biggest impact possible on the fewest possible, right? Fewest viable, he likes to say, because the fewest number possible is zero, right? So he's saying the fewest number viable, where it's still sustainable, right? But that's really the goal, is to make the biggest impact you possibly can on the smallest group viable. And that's my two daughters. And so I told them, if I do that, rather than spend all my time and energy trying to make a big impact, or mediocre really, when you think about it, my biggest impact would be just a mediocre on millions, 2 million subscribers or people out there. What if I really just instead took all that energy and focus and put it on just two people, my two daughters, right? Then, if I'm lucky, my daughter's children and their children will still think about me every once in a while. That impact might last generations. You know what I'm saying? So I told my daughters, my thinking and my goals in life, everything has changed. Everything. And it was going through all of those painful experiences and heartaches that has got me here. Like pain really is a good thing. Failure is a good thing. Let's not avoid it. Let's not allow the fear of pain, the fear of failure, the fear of embarrassment, of looking bad, shame. Let's not let these things stop us from living the life we really want to experience in our short amount of time here. Mario Batali says, life is not a recipe. And this is a celebrity chef saying this. He said, life is not a recipe. And even if it was, a recipe is simply someone else's idea that got written down. Do not let anyone else's recipe for success intimidate you or stop you from believing in yours. Know your truth and live by it. That's what Mario Batali says. Anyways, um, yeah, it's like everything I want in my life has changed. And I was telling my daughters that if I do my best at making the biggest impact I can on them, then if I'm lucky, my great grandchildren might still benefit from the positive impact that I made on my daughters, right? Now, yeah, it's like I'm not saying what's right or wrong for anyone else. This is just what the conclusion that I've come to for me in my life, you know? um, and I'm not trying to say that it's better. Oh, that's the thing. We got to get away from these comparative statements, better or worse or anything like that. It's like it's about being better than you used to be. That's it. That's the only person you should ever compare yourself to. The person you once were. Would that person be proud of who you are now? You know? Who was it? Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma says, would the child you once were be proud of the person you are now? That's something to think about, right? That innocent child, full of hope, full of dreams and, potential. That child, let's just try to see if we can think back and remember who that child was and what that child really wanted out of life and what really excited that child and gave that child reason to laugh. Like, what would that child think of the person I am now? You know? And I think really knowing myself back then, if I saw me now with this facial hair, dude, this facial hair just came in the last decade of my life. This freaking, oh my God, I've always wanted long hair. Ever since I saw Steven Seagal at Hard to Kill back in the 90s, I said, I want that. I want to be like him. Holy cow, Steven Seagal, when he had his hair tied back, oh my God, I'm talking about early Steven Seagal, skinny Steven Seagal. Yeah, but that I really wanted long hair ever since I was a kid. But yeah, if I somehow had a way to contact my child self and say, dude, and I freaking know how to shoot a bow now. Oh my God, I'm getting better at my air rifle. I'm out there hunting. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, the child I once was would be pretty proud to be the man I am now, I think. As long as we can figure out the financial situation and make that a little better, but it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I have enough. And I heard a really good quote. I forget who said it. Who said it? I forget who said it, but he said, it was a man though, because I remember I saw it on YouTube. It was like one of those like clips put together. But he said, if you have enough, you'll have something that the richest people in the world, the most famous celebrities, you'll have something that they'll never have. You have enough. They'll never have enough. They'll never have enough fans, enough attention, enough money. So once you have enough, now you're in a place where you can feel satisfied, fulfilled, content, happy, right? And also one person, I think I read it. Where did I read this? Oh man. Anyways, I can't remember. I can't remember what I was about to say anymore. Oh man. Okay, so any more comments? No comments. Great. Yeah, what was I about to say? I can't even remember because I was trying so hard to remember the who said it so I could give credit that I just actually forgot what the quote, where I was even going. Can I rewind this somehow? What was I even talking about a second ago? Does that ever happen to people? Um, shoot, what was I saying? Yeah. Oh yeah, about contentment, about happiness, right? That's right. Shoot. Okay, so here's what I read. I can't remember, but if you have to rely on circumstances, or people for your happiness, you'll always be lacking because you have no control over circumstances and you have no control over people. So he's saying when you look to circumstances for your happiness, when pleasurable experiences are happening to me, that's when I can feel happy. Well, those are very few and far between. Those do, I mean, very happy moments like that do happen in life. Moments where you're just like, oh my God, it's amazing. But I mean, that's not everyday life, right? That's not the day-to-day grind. So if we're always relying on circumstances, pleasurable, experiences for our happiness, we're always going to be lacking. If we're relying on relationships, pleasurable relationships for our happiness, we can't control people. Even though you're thinking about somebody so much and you care about them so much, it's not their fault that they're not thinking about you back that way, you know? And most people aren't thinking about you. Les Brown, he said, if anyone's thinking about you, all they're thinking about is what you're thinking about them. They're just wondering what you're thinking about them. That's how people are. So if anyone's ever thinking about you, all they're actually thinking about is whether or not you're thinking about them. But yeah, it's like, again, where was I going with that? Shoot. I just lose my train of thought these days. Um, 'Cause I'm too busy joking around. But yeah, okay, so you can't control people, or there's no amount of you thinking or caring about somebody that's going to cause them to suddenly care and think about you back that way, right? And you don't do it for that. You don't think about someone and care about them to get that in return, right? We do it because we do. Um, but so the quote is, if you rely on circumstances for your happiness, you or relationships, you'll always be lacking. But when you choose happiness of your own free will, then you're free because you realize I can always choose happiness, right? And the Dalai Lama says there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way, right? You're never going to get there. Once I achieve this, and once I get that, I'll be happy. Once I'm in this place, I'll be happy. Yeah, for the moment, maybe. Once you summit the mountain, then yeah, you have that thrill, that adrenaline, but then you realize the sun is about to go down. It's about to get dark soon. I don't want to be stuck on top of this mountain. I got to get down now. There are things to do. The moment is fleeting. So, what we can choose happiness and not say, when I summit the mountain, I'll be happy. Say, I'm going to be happy along the way and enjoy the journey up and down, you know? But yeah, I just realized that is so true, like, and now I'm free because I don't have to rely on my circumstances or other people for my happiness. I can choose to be happy no matter what. Amor fati is what the Stoics say. Love your fate, no matter what it is, no matter what's happening to you. Love it because it's your unique story. It's happening to you, and it's your unique experience in this short amount of time we have on this earth. So love it. It's your story. It's your life. Like, love everything that happens to you, even the pain in my toe, my pinky toe, when I was going through it. And I was limping. I was hurting so much. Even when I was grooming people's dogs, I just went through the pain because I'm a professional. I am an artist and I'm not a businessman, but I am a professional. And a professional shows up and they get the job done, no matter how they're feeling about it, right? And so that's what I did. Just grit and bear the pain, and you do the best you can, and you provide that quality service because I'm a professional. At the end of the day, I consider myself a professional groomer, dog groomer. But anyways, yeah, that pain, I loved it. I thanked it for reminding me to appreciate even my pinky toe, not only, not just when I need it and when it's in pain and I need it now, but be grateful for it on a regular basis. Be grateful for my pinkies, be grateful for my hands, be grateful for everything, little things. It was a good reminder, that pain in my pinky toe, especially when I thought it was infected. and I might have to go to see a doctor. I was legitimately scared for a moment. But then, yeah, it popped on its own and it was nasty. I won't talk about it. Let's see. M. Elridge, your laugh could be its own YouTube channel. Oh man, thank you, M. Elridge. But yeah, I talked long enough. Oh my God, 70 minutes. Holy cow! Thanks for hanging in there. For the few of you that did, thank you. Especially through all my rambling and losing track, and then finally getting back to the point. But yeah, yeah. So I almost died a few Sundays ago. Then the next Sunday, I lost a client's dog in their neighborhood, and all their neighbors were out, and they saw me um, lose a dog, and yeah, and it really was embarrassing, but it's all good. And yeah, and then this past Sunday, my daughters came down for Labor Day weekend, and yeah, and now yeah, they're sleeping. They had a late night. I let them sleep in because, it's a Saturday and they have me wrapped around their fingers and I love them to death and they can do no wrong in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oops, dad, I tripped and I accidentally stabbed you with the knife and now you're gonna die. It's all right. Come here, give me a hug. Let's just enjoy this hug before I die. You're a good girl. Anything they do is fine with me. Because I'm their dad and I'm just completely just wrapped around their fingers. And I love it. There's no place I'd rather be, you know. But yeah, I once they wake up, oh, I'm gonna walk my dogs. I fed them breakfast and let them out, but I promised them that I would walk them, give them a moment to digest. That's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stream and check in with people, just let everyone know that I'm okay. Because some people do worry about me because they know that I struggle, not struggle, they know that I deal with that I have depression. That I was diagnosed back in 2015 with clinical depression, which probably explains the suicidal thoughts sometimes when I'm having a really low time. So people have reason to be concerned about me when I go silent. I'm not saying like and I am not bothered by it at all. I really was touched, and I felt like, wow, some people do care about me. Tara might think about me 3 days after I die. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice to have people check in on me. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing well. I hope everyone else is too, especially in this environment, in this climate, what's going on in the world. Everything it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to process. I don't even know what to think anymore because, so many just contradictory stuff coming from both sides of the news media, even both sides of politics. Everything seems like it's being politicized now. I just feel like, oh my God, like what's going on? So it is a tough time. I think we should be not should. I don't want to use words like should. We could check in on each other more and do more wellness checks and make sure everyone's you know coping well with everything. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm doing as good as possible, right? Given my circumstances. But everybody is dealt a unique hand, right? We're all dealt our own unique hand. And we all have our own issues to deal with. And that's why I say don't compare yourself to anyone else. Keep your eyes on your own paper because guess what? Life is giving everybody different tests. And so it does no good to look at your neighbor's paper because their answers to their test questions are going to be completely different to yours. You know what I'm saying? Life gives everyone different tests. So keep your eyes on your own paper because it does no good to cheat because they got a different test than you, right? M. Elder says, you're not alone. Love your videos. Depression is an SOB. I mean, yeah, I have to remind myself sometimes, why am I feeling like this? Oh, yeah, because it's brain chemistry. I'm a nurse. Okay, I'm a nurse out in spine surgery at 39 years old. Wow. Learning your craft, reason for everything. Yes, yes. And I think that, like learning a craft, any craft, it doesn't have to be like dog grooming, something that you earn an income with. It could be something like archery, something that I'm doing just to be good at something, something that I care about, that is personal to me, like when I shoot a bow, and I prefer traditional archery, bare bow. I shoot right off the shelf, a stick and a string, baby. That's all you need is a stick and a string. I don't want to complicate things. If I miss a shot, I don't blame the stick or the string. It's me, it's the archer, you know? And so, yeah, like becoming better at that really has helped a lot in my own personal like self-confidence, how I feel about myself, everything. So, yeah, learning a craft and becoming skilled at something helps if you're struggling with depression or you're dealing with it, learning to live with it like I do. And yeah, and there's a reason for everything. I agree with that. Everything happens for a reason. I got this moment, where I fed my dogs, my daughters are sleeping in, and I had this moment where I could just come in and do this wellness check real quick, just let everyone know, thank you for checking in on me. Not everyone, a handful of people. I don't want to exaggerate. But yeah, thank you for checking on me. Thank you for caring. And I hope you're doing well too. I hope everyone's doing well. And I got this moment, I got a chance to do this, and I'm glad I did because yeah, it's like a reason to connect and just kind of let everyone know, like maybe someone else is struggling the way I do with things. Let someone know, like, hey man, you're not alone on this journey called life. Of course, we have to go through our own personal journey, and we have to, even dying is a lonely journey that we have to go through everything alone. When we go through pain, it's a lonely place, you know? Even death, why would you want to take anyone with you? You know what I'm saying? You have to go through that journey alone as well. Even life, we're, even though we're surrounded by other travelers, other adventurers on this planet, really we're all going through our own personal unique journey through life. So but it is comforting sometimes when you're lost in the woods and you're saying, is anyone out there, help? And you hear someone call back, you're not alone, you know unless it's like a scare, you're not alone. I'd be like, oh no, I wish I was alone. What I'm saying? Like a fucking Sasquatch, banging a fucking tree, and then you're not alone. I'd be like, oh no, I really wish I was alone now. But yeah, but if it's a friendly voice, right, calling back, hey man, you're not alone. I'm a fellow hunter here. I thought I was lost too. It's comforting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess everything everything is nothing is black and white, right? There's no cookie cutter, no one size fits all. It's not just if someone calls back, you're not alone. It's the way. It's the way. Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly saying that. It's not what you do necessarily, it's how you do it, you know? Yeah, I lost my client's dog a couple Sundays ago, but it wasn't what happened, it was how it happened and how I handled it afterwards. I called them immediately. I told them, I'm in trouble. We got a problem. And I was like chasing it. I was like, I see him, I was letting them know where I was and everything. And I told them, I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. I should have known to put the harness on. He slipped right out of his collar. I'm so sorry. And I only took him out because his pee pee was wet while I was grooming him, when I was finishing him up. And I was like, oh no, he's holding his pee. I know how that feels. When you're like desperately holding your pee, you could taste it. You're salivating because you have to pee so bad. I know how that feels. It's like, so I started kind of rushing, hurrying up, and I finished up as fast as I could so I could take him outside so he can relieve himself. But yeah, I should have known to put the harness on him. Like he got out and then I guess he thought it was a game or something, a deadly game of cat and mouse. But like, if he got onto that main road, oh my God, it would have been toast. But the thing is, I was there. I wasn't giving up. I was totally willing to own up to it. Like, honestly, I told them, like, I think I'm done. I think I'm done grooming. Like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like, oh man, like, but it was just because I was just so overwhelmed with just disappointment in myself that I let this happen. It happened on my watch. I'm responsible. I was disappointed in myself. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I just felt like quitting. I just felt like, oh, just I'm not ever gonna groom a dog again. But yeah, Nina was so kind. She was on the phone with me. She was like, June, You're just upset because of what happened. She's like, just give it a time, just give it a day or two. She's like, it's fine, you know. And she was saying that when they saw what happened, because they have a camera outside their house so they could see, when they saw what happened, they were like, yeah, I mean, it could have happened to anyone, and I did the right thing, you know? So yeah, it's not what happens necessarily. It's okay to mess up. Everybody messes up. And you know, I don't think anybody is right? I mean, who possibly, why would you even make that a goal to try to be perfect? Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. It's just how we handle it that matters most. It's what you do. It's yeah, oh, it's, you know, like if I would have tried to, you know, like get all defensive and it's not my fault, um, they probably would have fired me. I mean, yeah, of course it would be upsetting if somebody was like just totally defensive and denying it and passing the blame on to somebody else and everybody else but them. Oh, you know, it's like that's what upsets me about. I'm not gonna talk about politics, and I really gotta go. And that would open up another can of worms. Like we would be on here for like 3 hours. Okay. So, anyways, thank you guys so much. I gotta get going. Oh man. Oh my god, my legs. Oh shoot. Oh man, why does this feel so good to sit like this? Oh my god. Okay, just so you can see what I'm doing. Let me back this up a little bit. I used to laugh at older guys that sat like this, you know, with their legs crossed so tightly. I'm like, dude, do your balls just shrivel up into nothing, into little peanuts when you get older? Because, I mean, there's a package right in the middle there. Why are you sitting like this? It's because the hips, the pressure, the tension that gets relieved right here in your hips. Oh, when you sit like this, oh my God, now I get it. Now I know why older men sit like this because I was always sitting like this. You know what I'm saying? I would always like to take up a lot of space. You know what I'm saying? To sit like this because I'm a man, right? But oh man, now, that, I mean, the younger guys will never understand. I mean, oh my God, to sit with a nice cup of coffee just alone in the morning sometimes. Oh, just look outside and sit like this. Oh man, I used to think like, oh man, those older guys think they're being so cool. It has nothing to do with being cool, baby. It's all about just finding that little bit of comfort at your old age because the relief of pressure right there in your hips, baby. Why do your hips hurt so much all the time when you're older like this? I'm 40 years old now. Oh my goodness. So this is how I'm sitting from now on. As a 40-year-old in my 40s, this is my new sit. Anyways, I gotta get going. Oh man, it was fun. It was nice. What's that saying? It's been real. It's been fun. Can't say it's been real fun. No, I'm saying it really has been real fun. Thanks everybody. Hope everybody is continuing to do well. Take care of each other because we're all we got. You know what I'm saying? We're all in this together. Alicia Keys, right? We're here for all of us. That's why we're here, you know? So let's just remind ourselves that we're all connected. What we do to harm another harms us. What we do to harm ourselves harms others, right? What I do to harm myself would cause pain and some harm to my daughters and people closest to me that I'm responsible for. You know what I'm saying? So we're all connected. Don't harm yourself. Don't harm others. And be good to yourself. Treat yourself like someone you actually care about. Because that also, because we're connected with others, we're good to ourselves, that is also going to be beneficial for others, right? Because now I'm pouring from a full cup. When I pour love out to my daughters, I'm pouring from a full cup, right? Not just scraping the bottom of the barrel every time I'm trying to give my daughter some love because I have none for myself, right? If you're gonna, wait, Dr. Wayne Dyer says, if you're gonna give somebody some oranges, best you go pick some oranges first, right? Or get some oranges first. You need to have some oranges if you're gonna offer somebody some oranges. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, fill yourself up with love, take care of yourself, treat yourself like someone you actually care about, that you actually like. And how would you treat someone like that? Treat yourself that way. And then you're feeling from an empty, from a full cup. With the orange analogy, I love this. Dr. Wayne Dyer says when you squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice, right? You're never going to get apple juice or mango juice or pineapple juice. Orange juice is always what comes out when you squeeze an orange. Why? The answer is simple. It's because that's what's inside, right? So he's saying that when someone squeezes you, when someone puts pressure on you, right? What comes out is what's inside. If anger is what comes out, right? And nastiness, if that's what comes out, it's because that's what's inside. And it really makes me realize I have a lot of work to do, which is why you don't hear from me a lot, because I'm doing a lot of inner work. Because when somebody does something to upset me, oh, all of a sudden I get angry. Just the other day, somebody was following me. It was, it was dark, and I guess I was driving too slow or something. They were in a hurry. We were going to the same place. We went, and so, anyways, we parked, right? They flashed me with the high beams, and I'm like, "What's your problem?" And then they had the high beams just on me because I was driving too slow for them or something. But I'm going the speed limit, maybe a little bit more, but I'm around the speed limit. I'm like, "What in the world?" And then I go to park, and then they honk as they drive by. All of a sudden, I'm pissed. I was like, "Oh, hell no!" So I pulled out and I followed them. And then I followed them to where they were going, and then I parked right next to them. And I just looked over and I stared at the person driving. Turns out it's a female. I was fully expecting a male driver, and I was fully expecting to ask him what the fuck his problem was. But I look over and it's a female, and she's not looking at me. She's obviously scared, and so I left. And I realized I got a problem that I need to deal with. Why did I let that upset me so much? You know, I was gonna let the following me, so just tailing me, just driving on my ass with her high beams on. I was willing to let that go. It did bother me a little bit, but I was like, whatever. But as I was parking and she honked at me as she was driving by, that pissed me off. That's what did it. It just that was the pressure was building, and then boom. And that's what caused me to follow her to where she was going. And then I parked next to her and gave her the death stare. And I realized, wow, I have a problem, right? Because Dr. Wayne Dyer says when you squeeze an orange, doesn't matter who does the squeezing, doesn't matter what time of day it does, it doesn't matter if your mother-in-law, who you hate, does, does the squeezing. Whoever does the squeezing, no matter what time of day it is, what comes out is always what's inside. So if what comes out is anger, it's because that's what I have inside. What comes out should have been compassion, love, understanding for another human being. Maybe they really were in a hurry. And yeah, and I didn't want to scare a young female like that. I mean, that was not my intention. I fully expected to see a male driver, and I thought we were going to tussle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bit physical if necessary. I was ready. But yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I need to work on that, like whenever I feel unjustly wronged by someone, I just, get so angry, and I feel this need to retaliate, and there is no need to retaliate. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I just told Big Jake that last night. It's like I needed to hear that myself, you know? Anyways, yeah, that's been what's going on. Glad to share all this with you guys. I hope everybody's doing well. And again, remember, don't put so much pressure on yourself to have to be somebody great or do some great thing. No matter what great thing you do, even if it's greater than what Nelson Mandela did, or what Gandhi did, or what Martin Luther King Jr. did, or what any of these men did, even Jesus Christ. Let's say you do something as great as Jesus Christ did. How many of us actually take the time to pray and thank God, Jesus, for our meals or anything? Like, I just feel like let's take the pressure off of each other and ourselves. We don't have to do some great thing. Sometimes the greatest thing we can do are the smallest things, like taking the time to listen to your daughter and hear what troubles them, and listen and not try to figure it out or give them advice or act smarter or wiser, and just hear them with no judgment, you know? Help them feel heard and understood. That's something very small that I can do. But that one small thing can lead to something great down the butterfly effect, right? So, I just feel like, yeah, let's focus on that. Let's focus on the little things and appreciating our pinky toes. You know, something as small as your pinky toe. How often do you look down and feel grateful that you have it and it's working properly and it's not giving you an excruciating amount of pain, right? Let's be grateful for everything, even the bad, even the shit in our lives. Without it, it wouldn't be uniquely our life, right? Something would be missing. So, anyways, Janet ATL says, "You are awesome, June. I love your heart." Awesome. See, that's what I was stalling. I was stalling until somebody actually gave me some validation. I was fishing for compliments so hard. Holy cow, I was out there fishing. Finally, someone took the bait. Janet ATL took the lure, baby. I caught myself a compliment, and now I'm out talking about. Anyways, I'm joking. I don't know. I just ramble. Anyways, Janet, thank you so much. Talk to you guys later. Take care of yourself first, and let's take care of each other as best we can. See you guys.